Welcome to Quote and Conquer, the podcast where powerful words meet powerful action. Let's conquer one quote at a time. Each and every day, the actions that you're taking are voting on the person you are becoming. Hi, everyone. It's Joey Walters. Welcome back to Quote and Conquer, the podcast where powerful words meet powerful action. Let me say this straight. If your life isn't where you want it to be, it's not because you lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. It's because your actions and your habits are out of line with your standards. You don't get the life you want, you get the life you deserve by the actions that you take on a daily basis. Most people have big dreams, big goals, big potential, and yet they live average lifestyles. Why? Because they practice average every single day. What you tolerate in private shows up in public. And when you repeat it over and over, you stay chained to your past and you become this identity. And until you take ownership of this, nothing will change. Today, we're going to be talking about why excellence is not something that you can just switch on like a light switch. It's not motivation, it's not the speech, it's not the post that you just read. It is the breakthrough moment when you take action with the habits that you're doing on a daily basis. And without further ado, I really want to get into this week's quote. We are what we do repeatedly. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit, by Aristotle. So, who was Aristotle? Aristotle wasn't a motivational speaker. He wasn't posting quotes online. He was one of the greatest thinkers in human history, a philosopher, a scientist, and a student of Plato. Aristotle believed character isn't discovered, it is trained daily. Virtue, discipline, leadership, excellence, they are built through repetition. You don't just wake up with excellence, you practice excellence until it becomes your identity. And the truth is uncomfortable because it removes excuses and it puts responsibility back on us. You see, our days are our life in miniature. And it's not what we intend to do, it's not what we occasionally do, it's what we repeatedly do. That's who we truly are. So now I want to get personal and I want to share how this quote helped me change my life. And I'm going to talk where I got stuck and where most people get stuck. You see, for a long time, I looked like I was successful and I was winning. I had good grades growing up. I played on many championship hockey teams. I had a successful career, leadership roles, the image of discipline on the outside. But deep down inside, below the surface, I was off. What I did on a daily basis was inconsistent and I was not living up to the person I wanted to be. You see, from a health perspective, I said I wanted my health to be put first. I wanted to be strong, energetic, and fit, but I overate to numb the stress and I trained inconsistently and I wasn't the epitome of being in shape like I wanted to be. So I was ashamed of that. From my faith perspective, I said God was my father, my foundation. Yet I didn't pray consistently, I didn't surrender, and I didn't trust him as I do today. As a father and as a friend and previously as a husband that I used to be, I wasn't present. I wasn't intentional. I wasn't grounded. I was distracted. I was more focused on my career and I was selfish. And I needed to learn on how to channel my energy and time day in and day out to be the father and the friend and the family member that I wanted to be. As a leader in my career, I talked about vision, high standards, and growth, and yet I tolerated many things that I shouldn't have. I wanted everybody to be my friend, and I did not act consistently day in and day out with my actions and my habits. And then it hit me really hard. How I do one thing is how I do everything. And if I cut corners in my health and I cut corners in my faith and I lack discipline in private, it's going to show up in my personal life, in my leadership. And if I tolerate weakness in small things, I will never achieve big things in my life. The goals that I wanted were elite, but yet my actions, my habits were average. And average will never get you to where you want to be. It'll keep you chained to your past and you'll never reach your full potential. Hi, everyone. Quick interruption from the episode. If this is speaking to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification because you don't want to miss out. And share it with someone who may need it. The link is in the episode notes. It only takes a moment and it can change someone's life. I believe in divine timing, and that can put the right message in front of the right person at the right time to make a huge difference. So let's make this happen together. And without further ado, let's get right back in the episode. So, how did I go about solving this? What was the turning point? Here's what changed everything. I figured out that I had to stop feeling my way through excellence and I had to start building a system and removing the habits and the actions that weren't servicing who I wanted to become. I had to raise my standards to a high level and there was no negotiation with that. I had to stop negotiating with food, sleep, and training. I had to build daily faith and trust and surrender. I had to audit my calendar so it will reflect the person that I wanted to become. I had to simplify my life so that way I could have self discipline and love for myself. I had to stop chasing motivation because it's just a feeling, and I had to chase alignment with my standards. And slowly but surely, it took a long time, and still to this day, I don't have everything perfect. It changed. My confidence returned because I kept the promises to myself. I had greater clarity in my vision. My leadership strengthened. My relationship with God strengthened. My relationship with my kids strengthened. I got fitter and I started becoming the habits because what I was doing daily was the person I wanted to become. So let's be real. We don't have a motivation problem. We have a standards problem. Winners don't ask, how do I feel today? They ask, what does it require for me today to live in my truth, my authenticity, and keep my word and promises for the person I want to become? Because I'm not going to be around here forever. I believe in memento mori. One day we're going to die. We don't have a long time. And we don't know when that clock is going to stop ticking. But what we can control is today. Because yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. So what are you waiting for? Because excellence can be boring, and it is done through repeated, consistent work on the great actions and habits that make you and separate you from the people that want to become something to the people that actually become who they truly are and how they reach their full potential. So now I'm going to get into 5 takeaways on how you can live this quote by Aristotle. Number 1, your habits are voters for your identity. Every action is a vote. Every time you hit the snooze button, every time you skip a training, every time you pray, even when you don't feel like it, every time you avoid a hard conversation, you are voting daily for the person you are becoming. You don't become disciplined one day. You prove discipline through repeated behavior. If your identity feels unstable, that's because your habits and your actions are inconsistent. You need to stabilize your habits and you need to do them on a daily basis, and that will allow your identity to fall. Number 2, discipline is self respect and self love. Discipline isn't punishment, it's not restriction, it's self respect in action, it's self love. It's saying, I matter enough to do the hard work. My future deserves more. I don't abandon myself when things get hard. I push through the storm. Every time you follow through, your deposit trust goes into your bank account. And confidence isn't built with hype, it's built with keeping promises and your word day in and day out. Quick interruption from the episode. Your past is lying to you and it's been chaining you down for long enough. I know this firsthand. But here's the great news. My book, Breaking from the Chains of Your Past, is a system I use to rebuild my identity, and it'll show you how to break free and create the future that you deserve. And here is the deal. If you attend my free masterclass by clicking the link below, I'll give you the book for free. No strings attached, just transformation. What are you waiting for? Your future starts now. Number 3, environment always wins. Willpower is overrated. Environment is undefeated. Your habits are shaped by who you spend time with, what you consume daily, what your calendar prioritizes, and what behaviors you tolerate. If your environment rewards comfort, you will live averagely. Design your life so that way the right choices are easy and that your wrong choices are inconvenient with the people that you surround. You surround yourself with the elite, you will become elite if you follow through on a daily basis. Number four, faith, health, and leadership require daily reps. You don't just drift close to God, you don't actually become strong, and you don't stumble into great leadership. All three are built the same way: daily, boring repetition, big prayers, consistent workouts, and consistent integrity. Miss enough days, and the erosion will happen quickly. Show up consistently, and that's when transformation compounds. Consistency is spiritual, consistency is leadership, and consistency is excellence for the person that you want to be. And number five, excellence is built in private. No one applauds early mornings, clean nutrition, saying no, doing the right thing, and staying in integrity. But these are the moments that are shaping everything. Public success is built with private discipline, habits, and action. And remember this: how you do one thing is how you do everything. Don't compromise your character. You either practice excellence or you don't. So, in closing, Aristotle was right. You're not your intentions and you're not your potential. You are your actions and your habits and what you do on a daily basis. And your actions and habits can be rebuilt. So ask yourself today, what habits and actions must you remove? And what habits and actions must you install? And if you're serious of becoming the person you really want to be, don't wait for motivation. Choose discipline because excellence isn't a moment in time. It's not luck and it's not a highlight reel. It's a habit built one intentional decision at a time. Well, that's all for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you got something out of it, and that way you can go and implement it. Remember, I always say, don't just hear the words, live them. You only live life once. So, what are you waiting for? The world is yours to conquer. Definitely running with the